Right. Okay, let's dive into this. We've got some fascinating sources today talking about, well, a potential mega energy find off India's coast, Andaman Sea.
Yeah, Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri even called it a national jackpot. So, quite a statement.
Definitely. And our job here really is to unpack that, look at the claims, see what this might, actually mean for India's energy picture, its economy.
Exactly. Because the buzz really comes from this comparison they're making to Guyana. The huge discovery there. We're talking potentially 11.6 billion barrels.
And that figure, the 11.6 billion barrels, I mean, that's really the hook, isn't it? That's driving this massive economic projection Puri mentioned.
It is. He floated this idea that if it pans out, it could help push India's economy from, what, $3.7 trillion towards maybe $20 trillion someday.
Okay, but hang on. That $20 trillion number, we need to be a bit careful there, right? That feels aspirational.
Oh, absolutely. It's pure aspiration at this stage. I mean, that kind of leap needs decades of steady, large-scale production, plus, stable high oil prices, geopolitical calm, lots of ifs.
Right.
But the Guyana comparison itself, that is important. Because what happened there with Hess and CNOC, it genuinely transformed the country. Suddenly, they were like 17th in global oil reserves. It shows it can happen.
Okay, fair point. But the sources also hammer home the cost, the difficulty, especially deep water. Puri pointed out Guyana, again, was it 43, 44 wells?
Yeah, something like that. And each one costing around $100 million. That's serious money.
And the big find only came on well number 41.
Exactly. And that tells you something crucial, you listening out there. Deep water work is incredibly expensive, not just because it's deep. You've got immense water pressure, specialized robots, temperature challenges.
So that $100 million isn't just like a random big number. It reflects real technical hurdles.
Absolutely. Huge complexity, huge risk.
So is betting that kind of money, especially after, what, 40 dry holes, is that really a viable strategy for India?
Well, they seem committed. Look at ONGC, the state-run oil and natural gas corporation. They're drilling aggressively.
The numbers are pretty stark. They invested, what, about $4.5 billion US? That's 37,000 crore just last fiscal year.
Yeah, a record high for them. And they drilled 541 wells, apparently the most in 37 years. So the effort is definitely there.
Okay, so that's the big picture, Hope, the massive investment. But let's shift gears a bit. What do we actually know? What's been confirmed on the ground, or rather under the sea?
Right, good point. Because beyond the oil speculation, there are concrete results. Another state company, Oil India Ltd Oil, they've definitely found natural gas, first time confirmed in the Andaman Basin.
Okay, natural gas. That's different from the big oil hopes, but still significant.
Very significant. It's a major first step. They found it at a well called Sri Vijayapuram 2. It's about 17 kilometers offshore.
And the gas itself, any details on the quality?
Yeah, initial tests are promising.
Okay.
Shows about 87% methane content.
And 87% methane.
That's good. Oh, yeah.
That's very good.
High methane means it's cleaner, relatively speaking, easier to refine, easier to transport, makes it commercially more attractive right off the bat.
Interesting. And geologically, does this fit? Does it make sense for gas to be there?
It does, actually.
Yeah.
It backs up this long-held theory that the whole Andaman Basin should be rich in hydrocarbons. It sits on a belt.
Right, I saw that. It runs from Myanmar down to Indonesia, and they've found stuff along there already.
Exactly. So finding gas here strengthens the argument that India's chunk of that belt could hold significant reserves, gas or oil. It makes the continued extensive exploration seem, well, more geologically sound.
Okay, so let's connect the dots for people listening. Why does any of this, the oil hope, the gas, why does it matter so much for India specifically?
Well, the bottom line is imports. India currently gets, over 85% of its crude oil from other countries.
85%? Wow.
Yeah, makes them the third biggest crude importer globally, right after the U.S. and China. So huge reliance on international markets.
So for you listening, this really matters because finding significant domestic resources, oil or gas, could drastically change that picture. It's about energy security, energy resilience.
Precisely. It's the core goal. Success here would validate the government's big push, the National Deepwater Mission, and also these partnerships they're forming with big international oil companies like BP, Shell, ExxonMobil.
Right, bringing in that deep water expertise.
Exactly. They need that tech and experience.
Okay, so it feels like we're seeing maybe the start of something. You've got the huge economic ambition, that $20 trillion idea, kind of meeting this concrete step, the confirmed 87% methane gas find.
Yeah, it shows the policy push and the drilling investment are starting, just maybe starting, to yield tangible results in a really challenging area.
But, okay, let's wrap this up with a final thought. You mentioned the gas find at Srivijayapuram
Mhm.
too. It's confirmed. High quality. But it's still 17 kilometers offshore, deep water.
Right. And that leads to the next big question, the challenge we should probably leave you thinking about.
Yeah.
Beyond just finding the gas, how do you actually get it?
You mean the infrastructure?
Exactly. What are the immediate hurdles? Strategic, logistical, financial, in turning that deep water gas discovery into something usable back on the mainland, cost effectively. That's the next mountain to climb. Finding it is one thing, developing it is another entirely.